Hello, all of you beautiful wayward souls. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. This is where we get together and discuss taboo and different things because we're all unique and we're all different, and that's why we're here. And I also post pick a card readings and tarot readings and things like that. So yeah, it's a pretty cool channel. It's pretty cool. In this episode, I want to talk about like the dangers of not knowing that you're psychic and kind of how to know if you're psychic. So I'm going to talk a bit about what can happen if you don't know you're psychic, and then also like just some things to look out for if you are, because being psychic and being open and aware, being a starseed, being an indigo child, in this kind of life it's incredibly difficult, right? Because we have this expanded awareness in a world that's trying to, have one narrative and kind of suppress growth and love, right? This world is lacking a lot of that. And so us sensitive people can really struggle in a world like this one. And so that's why I just want to provide a little bit of guidance on that. And a lot of this is through my experience and people that I've known as well. So let's get into it. Okay, so personally for me, I grew up very empathic, very aware of things. I was really good at reading people. And of course I grew up in a bit of an unstable home, and so I was already overwhelmed, and I would always, I just felt like life was always moving too fast, and I never had time to really take things in. I guess that's just the way my brain worked too, is I was always a very quiet child. I was always just trying to take information in. And when things were moving too fast, life was just always on a set schedule, and it's like a rat race, right? And I felt like I just wasn't good enough for this world. I just can't keep up. This is just I'm so overwhelmed all the time. And then on top of that, I have all these deep emotions in me. I'm a moon in Scorpio, so, which I didn't know obviously growing up, but super, super emotionally intense, intuitive, it's a lot. And when you don't know these things about yourself, you tend to punish yourself for not being able to keep up with society, right? Anyone who feels like they're too emotional or they're too sensitive, it's not you. You're beautiful, and the world needs more people like you. So learn to treasure your sensitivity is what I have to say to you. Because once I started embracing it, that's when it started to become a superpower for me, is when I started embracing my sensitive psychic nature. So there's that. I know some people who, I was around paranormal stuff my whole life, but I also watched a lot of horror movies, so I had a lot of fear, and I was always like, nope, I don't want to see anything. It was I knew, right? But I would feel that energy's there, and it would really make me uncomfortable. But I have family members and a couple of family friends that have experienced different things. So I have a cousin he's now passed away. But when he was younger, he used to tell his sister, who's currently my best friend, he used to tell her when they were kids that he used to just have dreams where he would be out of his body, looking on the ceiling, looking down at his body with a cord attached to him. And so this kid, he was astro projecting, but he had no idea what it was, and no one to confide in about his experiences. And so he struggled a lot with that. And there's been a lot of addiction in my family as well. Not to get too personal, but what I notice, this is a pattern I'm noticing with people that have experienced psychic phenomenon or people that are intuitive, is addiction is a huge thing that's intertwined with it. And I'll get to why in a bit here. Another cousin of mine, apparently he used to, when he was young, he used to just hallucinate in bed for no reason. And I'm talking, this kid's young at the time, and he wasn't on any substances or anything like that. He used to just see stuff. And his aunt, or this is another cousin, I'm not giving out names because it's just too personal, but these are people that I know. She has always seen white orbs, and she's just seen things. And her and my cousin that has hallucinated and another friend that I know have all seen the same kind of entity at one point in their life. And my friend doesn't know either of those two, but he used to tell me when he was a kid he would see this thing, right? And I don't want to get into it because it was a freaky looking thing. What I've noticed and what we know with manifestation is that the universe mirrors to you what you are and what you feel inside. And so I feel like because this kind of stuff, information, has been suppressed for so long, we associate seeing the other side or paranormal activity and psychic phenomenons, we associate that with like fear and like evil. And we're growing up in a world that's incredibly fear-based. And so when you don't know what you're experiencing, it becomes fearful, and you might be even a match to seeing fearful things. But that doesn't necessarily mean that's all that there is. So if you're that person out there that has seen things in your life, you're not the only one. And if it's been scary, just know that you're safe and it's okay. And I want you to think about your upbringing and really think about how much fear you had growing up too. And how fearful your parents are. Like, are they constantly anxious? Are they is there a low vibe there? Has there been drinking in your family? Things like that, because we are, unfortunately, this sucks, but we are often a match to how we're feeling inside, right? And so realizing this actually really helped me along my journey of learning how to become a medium. Because I had a lot of fear with that too, because I would hear these things from my family members, and I would watch horror movies. Like, I just grew up being around horror movies, like especially demonic ones. It was crazy. So I really had to build a trust and really learn to accept that it's actually like there's higher dimensional, beautiful spiritual beings out there, or God, or just the consciousness, right? Like whatever it is that you believe in, there's higher, more beautiful things out there that like love is a real thing, and that's looking out for you. And it's when we tune into love that we start to experience more of that. But again, when we don't understand what we're seeing, we're gonna feel really alone in the world and scared, and then we're gonna feel crazy, and then we're gonna feel isolated, and then we're gonna do you see how dangerous this is, and how your brain can get into such a loop of fear when you're experiencing these things, and it's just so taboo, like no one wants to talk about it, And I feel like that's where, at least in my family, I feel like that's where a lot of addiction has come from, is the fact that we're all super sensitive beings that can pick up on things, but we're in a world that is so insensitive and so like lack of intuition and empathy and care that we end up feeling isolated and afraid and alone. And the average person does in this world. So you can imagine, if you're an intuitive, how much this intensifies for you, right? So I want you to keep that in mind. If you feel like growing up that you've experienced some things that have really freaked you out, and you've had no one to talk about it to, like, this is your moment here. This is your acknowledgement, like, that you're not crazy, that you have seen some things and you haven't known what to do with it. And maybe you've seen some fearful things, and it's not your fault if you've been in a state of fear for most of your life, or whatever it is that you happen to attract that energy. It's not your fault. You don't know, right, what you're feeling all the time or why you're feeling that, especially with your young upbringing. And this kind of stuff, it's really like you just need to cut energy cords if you're feeling like, if you're the type of person where you're seeing stuff too much. You can find ways to set boundaries with the other side, right? Like you can smudge, or using a singing bowl or any kind of sound frequency is really, really powerful in releasing energy. But also something that might help you learn is boundaries, and not just with spirit but with your life. Like learn to apply healthy boundaries for yourself in the physical world as well, because that will help you on your journey of discovering your psychic abilities, whether you're an astral projector or like you're a seer, if you have, you know, claircognizance and things like, or clairsentience, clairvoyancy, clairaudiency as well. Just remember that you are a sensitive person, and that you might have to, not only with like setting boundaries with spirits, because you can say like, no, I'm going to bed, I can't be taking in any info, because oftentimes, whether you believe in this or not, this is my belief system here, right? It could be the universe talking to you, it could be your own higher self, subconscious mind, you know, and oftentimes it's spirit guides or passed on loved ones, ancestors that are trying to reach out to you, or even like, yeah, your higher self or the universe, right? Like everything is connected, and so information is going to be trying to come in to those that are aware of this stuff, or that want to be aware of this stuff. And obviously if you're born extrasensory, you're going to just get the information regardless. And you can set boundaries and say, you know, I'm trying to sleep tonight, please don't send me any messages until tomorrow, right? Or you could even set boundaries like, I don't want to see anything anymore, but I'm willing to hear messages, or I'm willing to get like sensations in my body, like tingling sensations, to know that spirit's looking out for you. Whatever it is, like you are in control of this. You are the one who has this ability. It's your ability, and it's special, and it's something that you should love and cherish about yourself. And I know it's been something that has probably set you back in life, and I wouldn't be surprised if many of you have struggled with addiction or indulgences at some point in your life because of this, because this world is so warped and so painful, and us sensitive people can feel that on such a deep level. It's hard to hide from, you know? It's hard to hide that reality. And it's important for you, when I say set boundaries, is also to really tune into yourself and know, like, am I being, at this time, am I over emotionally stimulated right now? Do I need to actually have a weekend to myself and take time out for myself? Or is this a good time to be with people that raise my vibration, right? And also, who are you hanging out with? Like, do you feel like you're growing as a person, and that you're becoming, like, that you're being fully understood and connecting with these people that you're around? Or do you feel like they're lowering your vibe, and like, do you feel groggier or like dissatisfied being around these people, or your energy's kind of low? Be with people that bring your energy up, that inspire you. And yeah, like if you're tired and you need time to be with yourself, remember when to do those things. Remember, and be aware with what your body's telling you, what foods you need to be eating, cleaner foods and things like that, because we can feel that. If we're eating a lot of junk food, we'll instantly feel gross. Like, there ain't no hiding that with us sensitive psychics. Like, sorry everyone, it's a reality. We're gonna know. And just being gentle and knowing what it is that we need when we need it. Like, is it Is it a night in with a hot bath, or is it like a nice walkout in nature, right? And especially with us, it's important to learn how to ground ourselves and kind of focus on our lower chakras, our root chakras, kind of anchoring ourselves down. Because oftentimes when we're psychic and we're sensitives, we tend to linger in our higher chakras a little bit more because we're used to picking up information, right? So it's just those little tips and tricks in understanding what your psychic abilities are, the fact that you have them and you're not just insane, and how to set boundaries so you can work with them, because that is, you can't deny that part of who you are. You are a sensitive person. You have psychic abilities, and it's important to embrace that, because the world really truly needs people like us to help it grow and get better, because it's us that's going to do it. Like by us being unapologetically ourselves and developing our gifts, we can help people just by being who we are. So I want you guys to feel safe in your abilities and with who you are, and learn, like, if there's fear behind it, let's work through the fear. Let's see what that is, because there's so much with extrasensory stuff. It's really truly, a lot of it is love and light, and yeah, it's just a beautiful thing to get into. And so if you struggle with it in the past, not knowing what it is, my heart goes out for you. It really does. But yeah, I hope this video has helped you guys. I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to say. Yeah, it's a crazy life, and we've all seen some stuff, and we're not alone here, right? So I'm sending you so much love and blessings on your journey through your self-discovery and checking out your psychic abilities. I will be posting more videos about, how to channel spirit and how to build your psychic abilities as we go. I might switch from podcast to actual videos too, if people want to see my face. If you guys prefer to see someone's face than just like my photography photos, let me know. I'm thinking of doing it. Yeah, and thanks for the feedback, and thank you all for your love and support and subscribes. I really appreciate it. You are all the best. Sending you so much love. Take care, everyone.
My house always felt so pretty, and no one's sending postcards from the city.